many battles can we blink with a Yorion with an Elesh Norn Mother of Machines on the battlefield? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and today we are continuing our exploration of the new battle card type. So around a week ago on Against the Odds, we played Ether Snap battles in Modern, and the idea of that deck was to play as many battles as possible and then use Ether Snap to flip them all and get their backsides right away and use the backsides to win the game. Well, today's deck, in some ways it's super similar, and in some ways it's super different. Our goal is still to play as many battles as possible. We're full on 5 colors, so we can play every sweet battle that exists, but our deck doesn't really care about flipping our battles at all. We actually don't even really want to flip our battles. Instead, our goal is to load the board up with battles and then use Yorion to blink them to reuse all their ETB triggers, get an Elesh Norn Mother of Machines on the battlefield to double their ETB triggers, and just drown our opponent with battle ETB value. So let's talk about our Yorion battles deck for Explorer, or actually for Pioneer. Either one, doesn't really matter. Jump into some games and just see how big of a stack of battle triggers we can make. So as I mentioned, we're a Yorion deck. Yorion's our companion. We also have one in the main deck, and it is kind of the key card in our deck. And since it's our companion, we have access to it all the time, which is really important because our goal is to load up the battlefield with as many battles as possible. So in the early game, we have Invasion of Urgamon, Invasion of Zendikar to ramp us into Yorion. We have Invasion of Ixalan, Invasion of Alara to generate card advantage. She goes through our deck, find more battles. Invasion of Tarkir, Invasion of Ravnica are removal battles. Invasion of Ikoria, Invasion of Tavolda. They're good at finding Yorion. We can tutor up our Yorion or our Elesh Norn or get it back from the graveyard. So we want to spend the first few turns of the game just loading the board up with as many battles as possible, ramping, drawing cards, killing stuff, getting things set up, because once we get a bunch of battles, our plan is pretty simple. We want to play ideally first Elesh Norn Mother of Machines to double up all the enter the battlefield triggers, and then play Yorion either as our companion or the one in our main deck to blink all of our battles. They're all going to come back into play on our end step, and then all of a sudden we're making even more treasures and ramping more and drawing more cards and killing more things, and we just keep doing this until eventually our opponent just drowns in the value from our battles. The other creatures in our deck, so we have the Yorion, we have 2 Moms, we have 1 Omnath and 1 Skyclave. Those are mostly just to power up Invasion of Ikoria, so we have things to get at lower points on the curve. Plus, Omnath is just a really good card. Skyclave gives us removal. Rounding out the deck, Ossification, Leyline Binding, give us some blinkable removal. We can fire it off aggressively early in the game, even if the target's kind of meh, because we know later we can blink it with the Yorion, get rid of something better. Omen of the Sea to draw us cards. Fable the Mirror Breaker, because, hey, we're playing Magic the Gathering, and if you're going to play Magic the Gathering, you start with 4 copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker in your deck. The mana base, I'm not going to talk about all of it. It is an unruly pile of basics, Fabled Passage, Shocklands, Triomes, some of the Buddy lands. You can see it all in the deck list. As far as the sideboard, rest in peace for graveyard decks, some sweepers, some removals, some counters for control. And that is Yorion Battles for Explorer. That's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see how many battle triggers we can get on this deck at once with the help of Yorion and Elesh Norn. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some battles? Well, you can snag up from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Yorion battle time in Explorer, and yes, we will play first. And yeah, this sounds a little bit weird, but it's actually kind of sweet. Double Invasion Ixalan, can hit lands if we need it. Hopefully we're up against, all right, Double Invasion of Tarkir, can snipe some Llanowar Elves. Eventually, perhaps, we will Yorion. Drawing a land's actually pretty good. Let's just kill the Llanowar Elves. Opponent. And, all right, Willful Haven's a little bit scary. A little bit. Well, let's get down Fable. Hopefully start making some treasures. Opponent, Kiora. And then gets to untap. And even more, oh boy, that's a lot of Willful Havens. That's a lot of Willful Havens. We'll discard an Invasion of Ixalan, an Invasion of Tarkir. We want to get an answer for Kiora. There we go. There we go. Okay, so attack the battle, make a treasure. Play the Trio. Invasion of Ixalan. I think we just take Yorion. Take the Yorion. Ossification. Get rid of the Kiora. Okay. Okay, things... Oh my god, and they scoop it up! This is Mono Green Devotion. This is like the best deck in the format, and we beat them. Alright, Invasion of Fiora in. Supreme Verdicts, at least some of them in. We will go down. What of this unruly pile can we cut? We can go down like one Ixalan, maybe one Ikoria. Do we go one Mom? Let's go one. Let's go one Mom. Well, that was actually pretty impressive. Our opponent saw the Yorion coming and knew the value was going to be immense and scooped it up. All right, can we do it with our opponent on the play? Not keeping that. This is sketchy, but we will keep it. We'll put one... Actually, let's just put Tavolta to the bottom. I think our plan is to definitely try to ramp into Invasion of Alara and see what happens. Opponent's going to 5. Still very frightened. Then get off to some fast starts. Well, Fabled Passage. Go. Opponent. Forest. Pelucranos. Well, when that rotates, who knows what happens. Do we take Mountain for Urgamon or Blue for... Yeah, let's go Mountain. Let's go Urgamon. Opponent gets Pelucranos. I'll play the land. Invasion of Urgamon. And we will discard, unfortunately, I think in a law... Actually, can we discard a land? Is that too greedy? Yeah, let's discard a land. That might be too greedy, but we're going to go for it. Okay, we draw land anyway. That's fine. All right, opponent. And hooray! Karn the Great Creator. That is probably game. That's a very, very good start for our opponent. 1-drop, 3-drop, Karn, Nykthos, puke, 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 puke. And now we can't even use our treasure, so our plan of casting these Invasion of Alaras not looking very likely. And I mean Karn just opponent trying to figure out what to tutor with the Karn. Goes for a God Pharaoh statue, which I believe they can cast next turn. We draw even more Fabled Passages. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just it, right? Like, once the statue comes down. Yeah, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. Good enough, Mono Green. All right, well, we're on the play for game number 3. We saw being on the play be very important game number 1, because it let us kill the Mana Dork. That is probably the best way, at least in the early game, to slow down our opponent's deck. This is fine. We can kill the Mana Dork. We can deal with the big planes. We are going to have to hit another source of mana, but this hand I think has a shot. We have a lot of removal. As long as we hit our land drops, this hand seems pretty decent. All right, Triumph go. Opponent. Land and Llanowar Elves. Yeah, opponent's doing some aggressive mulliganing. Well, we will kill the Mana Dork. Threat 1 down. We would love to just draw an untapped land here. Opponent. Wolf Willow Haven. All right, so we're gonna have to do it the hard way. Invasion of Ixalan. Oh, there's no white sources? Oh, that's really awkward. Okay, well, Triome then. Oh, that is unfortunate. Oh, that is unfortunate. We might actually be in trouble depending on what our opponent has here. We can't cast the Leyline Binding. Passes. Yeah, we will Fable the Mirror Breaker. Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Oh, we would like to dodge the Karn. Opponent, Nykthos, not doing anything yet. Kiora, okay. Untaps, and also nothing. Okay. Well, we will discard Invasion of... do we need Invasion of Fiora? We'll discard Supreme Verdict. Do we discard both Wraths? Do we need the Fiora? It is really good with Yorion. Discard both Wraths. Draw a couple cards. I'll play the Triome. Fable the Mirror Breaker Part 2. And Leyline Binding to get rid of the Kiora. Doing upkeep, so if our opponent does have an answer, they have to spend mana on their turn to do it. I mean, if we get to untap, your next turn is going to be pretty sweet. Opponent, Beseiju. Storm the Festival. Let's see what they hit. A Karn and a Cavalier. Those are hits. Those are hits. I think we're okay though, right? I don't think we win this turn, but we get to kill the Cavalier, exile the Cavalier, kill the Karn. Opponent gets a Cityscape Leveler. All right, so we will discard. Gotta keep the basic. Draw another land. Flip our Saga. Play the Mountain. Ossification. Get rid of the Cavalier. Kill the Karn. Make some treasures. Grab Yorion. They need a land to be able to Cityscape Leveler. Old Growth Troll, okay. And Llanowar Elves, okay. That's kind of fine. That is kind of fine. All right, we get to flip our Saga. Play the land. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. Okay, so Invasion of Zendikar. Oh, this is gonna be sweet. Invasion of Zendikar. Snag 2 lands out of our deck. Do we even attack? I mean, I guess we attack something. We lose a goblin. Yeah, attack our opponent. Attack our opponent. Actually, no, we lose both. That's not worth it. 1, 2, 3. All right, no attacks. We're just gonna Yorion. Yorion. And we're gonna blink some things. We're gonna blink a few things. Ixalan, Zendikar, Tarkir, Reflections. Yeah, we'll leave the flipped Kiki. So blink, and a turn. Everything comes back. Thin the deck. Grab some land. Yorion with battles is kind of sweet. Grab a land. Grab a land. Yorion, so we can do it again next turn. Shoot down your Llanowar. And pass turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I don't think they can storm the festival yet, which is good. Opponent. Another Old Growth Troll and a Cityscape Leveler. So it looks like it's going to come down to this Storm the Festival Leveler. I mean, I guess we do still kind of need to find something. Oh, they can get back the Cavalier. Okay, they get back Kiora. They draw a card. Opponent passes. We draw nothing, so we will discard the Glacial Fortress. Hit an Ixalan. Well, play Ixalan, see what we find. Ooh, Ikoria. Ooh, how much mana do we have? Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we can do it all. Wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we will take Ikoria. Everything at the Kiora. So opponent can kill a bunch of our goblins, unfortunately. So we kill a bunch of stuff. Kiora gets smacked. We make a bunch of treasures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Invasion of Ikora, X5. Grab Mom. Yorion number 2. Keep the new one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Blink it all. Do we let them get the Cavalier back? Yeah, I guess we have to. Yeah, all right, blink the Ossification. Opponent gets back a Cavalier. Ossification returns. Oh, and they scoop it up! Elesh Norn, Yorion, battles, taking down the best deck, or at least one of the very best decks in the format. My only regret is that our opponent scooped. Can you imagine this pile coming back into play here? So much battle value, so much battle value. Well, that was pretty encouraging. We just battled him. We battled him. Yorion battle time. Yes, we will play first, and yeah, this hand looks pretty good. I mean, there's a Fable the Mirror Breaker, so of course this hand's busted. But really, like, our mana's good. We have some removal. We have some filtering. This is the kind of hand we want. All right, Sacred Foundry, go. Demir A. Play the Forest, and I guess we just pass for now. Oh, opponent's playing Dredge. Interesting. We got Rips in the sideboard. Rest in Peace is pretty good against our opponent's deck. Zitulpa in the graveyard and a Concealed Courtyard. Play Island and a Fable the Mirror Breaker. Gotta be some sort of Reanimator deck, right? Opponent, Otherworldly Gaze. Maybe this is just straight up like Reanimator. Opponent mills a Thoughtseize in a striped... Oh, so it gotta be Soul Flayer. Soul Flayer's in this format now, isn't it? Is it Soul Flayer time for a... Well, they're not Soul Flaying this turn then. And passes. Well, we'll loot away a land in an invasion of Tarkir. Play the land untapped. Invasion of Zendikar. Opponent gonna do some looting. So we need what? Black, blue, green, red, white. Probably black and green. Swamp and forest. Pass the turn. I mean, we're getting to where we want to be. Opponent untap land, otherworldly gaze. Oh, Urborg Scavengers, interesting. Opponent gonna get hexproof. So we can't kill the scavengers. It gets to attack and eat, death touch, double strike, something like that. So we just gotta go over the top. So I think okay, Elesh Norn. Invasion of Urgamon. Double triggers. Discard Tarkir. Oh, that might be worth keeping. Yeah, let's just keep both. All right, opponent, give us your best shot. I mean, hopefully we can just outvalue this. Otherworldly gaze. So I'm sure our opponent's gonna get in this for like 8. Adult Gold Dragon. Opponent gets it. Yeah, this having hexproof is annoying. I mean, maybe we just die to this. That is also possible. Opponent. That's awkward. Yeah, drawing nothing's pretty bad here, so we can't get rid of that. So go attacking. Get a Cliff Charger. Double triggers. The tap land. So we can double Alara, but then we don't get to Yorion. Yeah, let's take Alara. Discard Urgamon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. We need 2 more mana to be able to Yorion. The other option is just double Ikoria. All right, X5. Double Invasion of Ikoria. Well, we will see if this is enough. Opponent mills some cards. Double trigger. Trigger 1. Library. Trigger. Trigger 2. Yorion. Trigger. I think we gotta keep the Omnath. 1, 2, 3. Play the land. Double triggers. Gain some life, make some mana. Invasion of Alara. Double triggers. Neither of those are good. Well, okay, so we'll decline. We'll put Ikoria in hand. Trigger number 2. Cast the Tarkir. Hit your face. End of turn. Get our stuff back. It will all double trigger. So get the rest of lands out of our deck. Wow, this was a big turn. I'm still not sure if we beat the scavengers, but... All right, Omnath hits you to 6. Grab the plains. Omnath does nothing this time. We will discard Ossification. Draw a Fable. Discard Skyclave. All right, well, this is it. Can you kill us? Hopefully, because of the life gain, the answer is no. Like, our opponent can make this a 5/5, right? That hits us for 10. All right, another Scavengers. Does not trigger because of Elesh Norn. Attacks. Sure. I mean, opponent's deck is cool. I will give our opponent cool points for sure. Our deck might be even cooler, though. Gains a bunch of life. But we should get to have a pretty sweet turn here if our opponent doesn't scoop. Opponent goes back up to 16, cycles the Hexproofer. We untap. We discard a Zendikar. We discard a Fable the Mirrorbreaker. Play a land. It double triggers. Play an Urgamon. It double triggers. Discard the Triome. Discard the Fable, the Mirrorbreaker. Oh, we'd love to flip this. Can we flip it? If we send everything at it, everything at Alara. Treasure. Leyline Binding. Get rid of the Scavengers. I don't think we've ever flipped this before. Okay, get rid of the one we can actually block. Oh, this is gonna be sweet. I don't think I've ever got to cast this side of Alara. Opponent's gonna block the Omnath. Sure, wait, does this make our opponent sacrifice? Is that a thing? What is it back? There's so much text. Okay. Target player draws 2. That'll be us. Destroy a land, I guess. Permanent we control. Wait, what was the permanent we control? No, 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 no. Oh, that's not what we wanted to do. Okay, that was a huge mistake. Okay. I thought we were adding counters to things, but not exactly. Well, Invasion of Ixalan. Trigger. Take a Glacial Fortress, I guess. Invasion of Urgamon. I mean, we're like a Battle Storm deck at the moment. Discard a Glacial Fortress. Discard a Invasion of Zendikar. Invasion of Ixalan. Double triggers. Also going to be spectacular. Omen of the Sea. And Invasion of Ixalan. Double triggers. We really just want more burn. That's what we want the most. We want more Invasion of red. Triome. Omen of the Sea. Well, let's double Omen of the Sea. Trigger. Keep Alara. And Urgamon. Double triggers. Discard Fabled Passage. Discard Ossification. Invasion of Ikoria, X5. Trigger. Graveyard. Omnath. Trigger. And then Graveyard. Take Yorion. Gonna do a little blinking. 1/11. We will pass the turn. We will get a handful of battles back. They will trigger many, many times. So discard a Zendikar, make a treasure. Discard what a turn! Discard a Trio, make a treasure. Discard a Trio, make a treasure. Discard a Trio, make a treasure. Discard a Fabled Passage. Are we gonna mill out? Maybe. Trio. Sacred Foundry. Omen of the Sea. All right. Ixalan will take a Invasion of Tarkir. Invasion of Ixalan. Decline. And a Alara. And a decline. Snipe. And Ikoria. Bottom. Draw a card. And bottom, draw a card. Okay, discard 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was a pretty good turn. Opponent, Otherworldly Gaze. We're not dead still, right? The question's gonna be, can we kill our opponent before we mill out because of this massively annoying scavengers? Mill some cards. Mana Confluence. What? Now I think we might be dead. Oh no, no ETBs. Attacks. Are we dead? Wow, after all that we die? 6/6, Flying Death Touch, Double Strike Haste. Yeah, it's got everything. And those are attacking. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess it was kind of cool to see our opponent's jank go off. Very disappointing that we had like such an epic turn and it didn't matter. That's the part that makes me sad. Also sad that apparently it's just a Greasefang deck. I thought our opponent had a cool brew, but it's actually just Greasefang in disguise. Oh, I guess we needed one more turn. I mean, I guess I gained a bit of respect for the Scavenger there. The Scavenger actually did some serious work for our opponent. All right, well, I mean, I guess we can't complain too much. We had like one of the most spectacular turns imaginable. It just wasn't enough to win, so I guess we accept that. Like that part is cool. The losing is not as cool, but all right. Doesn't stop our opponent from janking us out. We do have Ixalan to dig for the Rest in Peace, that is goal number 1. Rest in Peace, I think, just stops our opponent's deck from ever doing anything, which We would like that. If we could stop our opponent from doing anything, that would be acceptable. Opponent. Our opponent's just so all in on this graveyard plan. Parhelion, Zatalpa, We Dig. I guess Omen of the Sea. Well, okay, that's not what we were looking for, so we might just be dead. And passes. We draw nothing. Well, in that case, Glacial Fortress Fable, the Mirror Breaker. Yeah, I really would have liked to hit that Rest in Peace, but opponent, deep in the tank, Faithful Mending. Do they find a Grease Fang for the cheese 'em out win? Oh, they discard a Grease Fang. Okay, well, it's a pretty clear sign our opponent has a Grease Fang then, if they are discarding their game-ending card. Opponent, land, Grease Fang number 2, and... So I will say, it was funny to see our opponent's deck go off. I think this is like exactly the wrong way to build Grease Fang. The problem with Grease Fang isn't your deck's not powerful enough if it's not disrupted. It's if your deck gets disrupted, it does nothing. So I'm skeptical that adding another graveyard combo actually is something that's going to improve the deck. Although, I guess if you want to do Against the Odds Urborg Scavengers and Explorer, then I guess this would be a pretty good shell for it, just because you're already filling a graveyard. But I would say I don't think it actually makes the deck better, because it loses to all the exact same things. So you're just actually making your deck even weaker to us drawing Rest in Peace, which sadly we didn't. Well, interesting. Yorion Battles and also Mulligan. Oh, the hand was so close. And also Mulligan time. All right, this is fine. This is fine. We can deal with this. Opponent's on Karuga, which is almost certainly a Fires deck of some kind. We will put the Forest to the bottom for now. Well, this should be interesting. I like having the Yorion in hand. That is pretty big. Ooh, and an Omnath. Well, play the land. Well, do we just Ixalan? Let's just Ixalan. I don't know what we're discarding to Urgamon yet. We gotta wait an extra turn either way. All right, let's take Zendikar. Pass the turn. Tap land. Well, okay, we will play Invasion of Urgamon. Discard Ossification for now. Glacial Fortress, go. Let's see what you got. Tap land. Passing. Play a mountain. Invasion of Zendikar. Keep on battling. So we need black mana for sure. Red, red. Blue, blue, white, white. Let's go green. Green, black is fine. Take a swamp, take a forest. Okay, so right now we get an Ixalan, an Urgamon, and a Zendikar. The concern would be our opponent having an Elesh Norn. That would be an issue. Opponent, mountain. We got the fires. Wow, passing. Okay, gonna grab Karuga. Discard the hand size. Omen of the Sea. Land. Omnath. Draw a card. Okay, there's a landline binding. Sure. Play the land. Pass the turn. This is setting up to be a pretty good Yorion. Fires, okay, and Karuga draw 2, okay. All right, so opponent had their big turn, but now we get to do our big turn. Ooh, Invasion of, that's even better. Okay, so Invasion of Tarkir. Snipe the Karuga. Oh, this turn's gonna be sweet. Snipe the Karuga. Yorion. Blink it all. End of turn. Everything comes back. Let's order this properly. Okay, Invasion of Ixalan. To Volda. Land to the bottom, land to the top. Grab 2 more basics. Discard a land, draw in Urgamon, snipe Karuga. All right, that was a decent turn. I mean, our opponent's still untapping with fires, which is pretty frightening, but that was, boy, the battle value opponent, land, and killing Yarion's fine, because then we can reanimate it. It's actually kind of a positive. All right, Tol Samir, spell number 1, fights the Yorion. All we're missing is a mom. A mom would, oh my goodness, throw this into the stratosphere. Touch the spirit realm. All right, to get rid of the Yorion, sure. But we will, okay, Invasion of Urgamon. Actually, okay, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3. Put Yorion in hand. Invasion of Urgamon. discard the Yorion, play the land, Invasion of Tevolda, get back the Yorion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blink 7. Pass the turn. Here they come. We will get a few triggers, just a few. Arrange them properly. Okay, so we will get back a ossification. Tarkir to the bottom, Ravnica to the top. That'll deal with the fires next turn. Oh god, I guess a Triome. Grab our last two basics. Ossification the plains, get rid of the Tolsimir. Invasion of Tarkir, I guess hit your face. Discard a Triome, draw a Fable. Discard a Triome, draw a Triome, and go. That's all we got for this turn, opponent. That's it. That's all. Opponent. A tally, gonna spin it to win it, spin it to win it. I don't know how Fires works with a tally. It doesn't seem great. They should only be able to cast one of these, right? I believe. A tally spell number 1. A tally. I don't know if a tally is actually a combo with Fires. It seems like it's kind of not. What a game this has been for. Maybe this deck's sweet. Look at the battle value. This is what I envisioned. When they first spoiled battles, that was my thought, was like, okay, we can, are they gonna hit Yorion? If they hit Yorion, oh my god, do we wreck them? Oh my goodness, do we wreck them? Okay, opponent gonna cycle a Triome. I mean, oh, this is gonna be wild. Opponent passes. Okay, well, let's continue having good turns. Invasion of Urgamon. Discard Rafine's Tower, make a treasure. I kind of expect our opponent's gonna scoop here, honestly. Play the land, Fable the Mirror Breaker. And also Fable the Mirror Breaker. And then Invasion of Ravnica. We will blow up that ossification. And here comes the Yorion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 permanents. And let's go to our end step. Here they come. All right, so we will let some triggers resolve. We just want to draw first. I'm surprised our opponent's not scooping. All right, we want to draw first. We will get rid of the tally, which could accidentally kill us. We will get back a land. We will take a Invasion of Alara for funsies. We'll keep Ikoria. That could be helpful. We will discard Zendikar. No more basics. We will discard Urgamon. We already have all the Urgamons. Not discard anything. And we'll snipe your face. And we'll fail to find. And, oh my god, we can do it again. We can do it again with Leyline Binding. Oh, opponent, Leyline Binding, Spell number 1. Gonna hit our ER. Oh, you know what we get to do? Oh, this is gonna be the greatest turn of all time if our opponent doesn't scoop. We can tutor up Mom. We can tutor up Mom and then get back to, oh my goodness, this is gonna be wild. Oh, or did we just draw Mom? Oh! Opponent scooped it all. We were gonna see the biggest battle pile turn, literally of all time. Like, we were actually about to see the biggest turn of all time. We don't get to see it because our opponent scooped, but that was still a ridiculously impressive game. That was amazing. I mean, our opponent's playing the, like, go over the top with Fires of Invention big stuff deck, and we went over the top of them by far. Like, it wasn't even especially close. Do we even want Mystical Disputes? Our sideboard doesn't actually have an answer to Fires, so I guess we're on the Skyclave plan. I could see bringing in Dispute to try to stop Fires, but I wonder if it's even worth it. Like, do we even want to try to play that? You know what? Whatever. We're gonna run it back. We got Leyline Binding, we got Invasion of Ravnica. Like, this is probably about as good as our setup gets. Well, game 1. Oh, I just wish they stuck it out for another minute because that was so sweet. This deck is fun. 1 land, no keep. If we had 1 more land, this end would probably be pretty good, actually. All right, well, we'll keep this. What are we putting to the bottom? Honestly, it's probably Tarkir, I think. Yeah, we'll put Tarkir to the bottom. The thing about Tarkir is, our opponent's a... Oh, we don't have green mana. That's awkward. Okay, I mean, this hand's a little awkward. But the thing about Tarkir is our opponent's playing a Karuga deck, so it's not like they're going to have mana dorks to snipe or anything. Drawing a basic's fine. We would have rather drawn a green basic, but that's okay. I mean, 5 colors. We're gonna have color issues on occasion. That's the cost of doing business with a 5-color deck. Well, Glacial Fortress, grab the Yorion. All right, how about a green source deck? How's about a green source? Oh, they're gonna go Enigmatic Incarnation. Well, this might be bad. Runs out the Leyline Binding, no targets, sacks the binding, gets a 7-drop, which is probably a tally, this time without the fires on the battlefield. And we gotta hope our opponent low rolls. Well, they go with the Troxa, okay. Oh boy, okay, well, yeah, I don't know if we're beating turn 4 Troxa with our opponent being on the play. I mean, we can exile the Troxa. With this Incarnation out, I'm not even sure. Like, I assume they can tutor up something that gets back the Atraxa. Yeah, this is not great. This is not great. Not great for us. I mean, our mana color issues are also not great for us. Well, okay. Boom. Out of here, Atraxa. Another Enigmatic Incarnation. And a land. If they get back Atraxa here, I think we gets a Elesh Norn. Yeah. I'll at least like both of them. I think it's scoop time. We had our fun in game 1. Good hand, opponent, good hand. Cavalier Dawn gets back Atraxa. Well, maybe we have to bring in the Mystical Disputes. Maybe we have to. I don't know, this isn't like a huge concern because it's not super heavily played overall, but Elesh Norn does straight up just beat us. We do not have a real plan for beating an Elesh Norn on the battlefield. It shuts down all of our battles, it shuts down our Yorion, it shuts down all of our removal. So I guess that's why we have to bring in the Mystical Dispute. That is a pseudo answer. I like that our mana is good. Our mana allows us to actually cast spells, which is big. Opponent says good game. I guess that means they must have the nut draw. I like Urgamon. I don't even know what we're discarding. Are we discarding nothing? We might be discarding nothing. Yeah, I think we Urgamon, no discard. I think we decline just to make a treasure. Untap land passes. Grab the Yorion. Pass the turn. And passes. This is the turn we do want to be aware of something like Enigmatic Incarnation coming down. That is a concern. We would like to play Invasion of Alara. It might be too risky. Passing also feels pretty bad. You know what? I think let's just play a Triome and pass. Leave up Leyline Binding. There's a world where we Omnath, double land, or there's a world where our opponent just passes. Invasion of Alara. Get the counter out of our opponent's hand. Wow, resolves. I was not expecting that. Okay. We'll take the Mystical Dispute. Little awkward, but that's fine. We're hoping to do it again in the future. The Mystical Dispute is relevant. Opponent, Leyline Binding. Okay. Well, then we also have to Leyline Binding to get rid of their Leyline Binding. Okay, there's an Incarnation, but they have nothing to sack, and they're tapped down. Okay, so, play Omnath, draw a card. Fabled Passage, gain some life. Crack Fabled Passage. Grab an island. Make some mana. This lets us Yorion. Yorion, blink, 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 blink. Opponent can get rid of our Yorion. But now everything returns. Okay, deck, be good, be good. Invasion of Urgamon. Leyline Binding, we could just run it back. Oh, that's too sweet to pass up though, isn't it? Yeah, let's take the Leyline Binding. We'll discard a land, draw a card. Yorion. Opponent gets back the Leyline Binding. Cast the Fable for free. So our opponent does get to get a 7-drop with the Enigmatic Incarnation. Whether or not that actually beats us, though, is another question. Touch the Spirit Realm. I don't know if our opponent wanted to do that, because our Leyline Binding is going to come back, and then we can loop it again. So our stuff comes back. We get some triggers. Do we exile the Touch the Spirit Realm and just keep the loop going? Actually, I think the safe play is just get rid of the Leyline Binding. I think we gotta go safe here. Discard a land, make a treasure, draw a card. This keeps our opponent from getting a 7-drop, which is nice. Invasion of Alara. We will Invasion of Zendikar. Tutor up a couple more lands. I mean, I think we might just be outvaluing our opponent here. Omnath, all the modes. Omen of the Sea, might as well. Yeah, I mean, I think we keep them both. And then, yeah, we'll cycle the Triome. Why not? All right. That was our turn. Oh my God, another one. That was our turn. Opponent, gonna give us back our Yorion anyway. Do you have something that literally wins you the game here, opponent? Because this is gonna keep happening. Opponent gets their own Invasion of Alara. Wait, how did they get an Invasion of Alara? Exile the battles. How did our opponent get... I'm so confused. Okay. Did they enigmatic incarnation to get an Invasion of Alara? That's not how this works, right? I don't understand how we got to where we're at, but that's where we are. We'll get rid of Invasion of Zendikar, get rid of the Forest, draw a couple cards. We'll go to combat, hit you, make a treasure. How did they end up with this Invasion of Alara? I'm gonna have to go back and watch this. I don't understand. Opponent goes to 8. So we will Invasion of Ixalan, Elesh Norn, play the land, play the Elesh Norn. This is free, right? This becomes free. Okay, Invasion of Urgamon. Double treasure makes it free, so we might as well run it out. Trigger. Discard a Fable. Draw land. Discard a land. Draw Leyline Binding, which is nice. Pass the turn. Our Yorion goodies return. Opponent. Touch the Spirit Realm just to temporarily blink the mom. Sure. So we get some triggers. Omen of the Sea. Definitely keeping Leyline by. We'll keep them. Yeah. Oh, one of us is going to get shuffled away, right? All right, that's fine. Grab the Swamp. The Leyline Binding is super big here. We will discard a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Invasion of Alara. Oh God, Skyclave Apparition for sure. That'll resolve. Get rid of the Incarnation. Oh, what a game. And then Leyline Binding to get rid of the other one. So Incarnation's down, both of them. Omen of the Sea, because we're gonna lose a mana anyway. And I think we might be in decent shape here. We might be in decent shape. Sure, keep some cards. Pass the turn. Did we break it? Opponent. Fable. Cracks Fable. I mean, we have counters in hand. I think this is just game. Opponent gets a Swamp. I don't know how our opponent's getting out of this. I still don't understand how they got the Invasion of Alara, but neither here nor there. We are going off to get back a Leyline Binding. I mean, this isn't actually gonna matter though, because we have a million Leyline Bindings. Opponent's trying. I respect our opponent for giving it their best shot, but all right, so we'll just Leyline Binding to get rid of the Leyline Binding and make none of this matter. We get back an Elesh Norn, we untap, and yeah, I mean, I think we swing for lethal. We could draw it on, but that wouldn't be respectful. Instead, yes! What a ridiculous performance. Yorion with battles is living up to my expectations. Wow. I kind of love, we have all the mana, we have all the things. This was especially weird because our opponent kept exiling our Yorion, so we got to keep getting him back. So we really got to loop these battles. Sweet. And let's see what our opponent's up to. This hand looks pretty good. No white mana, but we do have we have multiple ways to make treasures, which should help. Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize. Well, I assume, we'll see. I would guess Fable, but maybe there's an argument for Ikoria. I don't know how scary people view this card. It doesn't do much into the late game, though, in our deck. All right, takes a Fable. Well, tap, land, go. We actually might just end up discarding Ikoria here, honestly. Opponent, Eye of the Eye Tyrant. Well, Forest and Invasion of Urgamon. Yeah, let's discard the Mountain first. All right, into a Fable, sure. I mean, if we make enough treasures, then the Ikoria becomes good. Opponent, Fable of the Meowbreaker. We don't really want our opponent to make a treasure. We could just play our own Fable. Maybe that's better. Yeah, let's... Yes, okay, you get to... They don't play Invoke, Despair, and Explore, right? We don't have to worry about that. All right, we're gonna Fable. I don't know if this is right or not. I am scared about our opponent getting Make the Treasure. That is frightening. Discards a land and a Bone Crusher. Okay, plays a land. Has another Bone Crusher. Sure. Gets in, makes the treasure. Sure. Plays a Bone Crusher. Sure. Oh, another Fable. Yeah. All right. Well, that's awkward. We know Yorion's the long-term plan. How do we get to it, though? I think we decline. Play Invasion of Ixalan. Go digging. Grab an island. Play the island. Ossification. Get rid of a goblin. Can we live long enough? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So we kind of need 2 turns and to not get Thought Seized to get down Ikoria for Yorion. I don't know if we're going to have that much time or not. We will see about it. Discard some cards, draws some new ones, plays a land, hits us, makes a treasure down to 14. Kroxa. Oh, that actually probably beats us. We'll discard the Ikoria, I guess. Yeah, and they can get it back. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good. Now I think we're just hard locked, essentially. Yeah, Kroxa returns. Yeah. We weren't planning on having to discard multiple cards. Well, we flip the Saga. We play Invasion of Ixalan. So the question is, do we take something just to discard? That might be the best plan. Take the worst card. All right, take Zendikar. Yeah, I mean, I think this is our only option. Unclear if it'll actually work, but we got to try it. Take a black source. Put Yorion in our hand. All right, so our plan is survive the turn, discard the Invasion of Zendikar, Yorion blink everything, Ossification gets rid of the Kroxa. Whether or not that will actually be enough is very much up for debate. Yeah, the Kroxa got us good. I think we would have been able to do our thing if it wasn't for the Kroxa, but we needed one more turn before the huge turn for our opponent. I mean, if they have discard, then we just straight up die, so, all right. They can also combo with the Kikis, right? 1, 2, that's also an issue. All right, so we block the Goblin. We drop to 8. Yeah, our opponent's just gonna go infinite Kikis. They make a Kiki now. Play a Yorion. Blink everything. So blink it all. So Ossification. We have to get rid of... We gotta get rid of the Kroxa. Omen of the Sea. We need to hit a Leyline Binding, I think. Well, take an Invasion of Tarkir. Oh, we didn't find it though. Oh no. Yeah, that was our hope, was to hit the Leyline Binding. And we do not. Well, let's see if our opponent knows how to go infinite with Reflections of Kiki Jiki. If so, we're dead. Wow, they don't. Okay, the game continues for the time being. Wait, are we dead? I guess we're dead to them copying Bone Crusher too. We're just dead in a whole bunch of different ways. I don't think we can survive this turn. They should have just made infinite Kikis on our end step and won, but our opponent did not see the Kiki combo line. I guess that's why you don't scoop. Opponent. Wow, Fable the Mirror. Okay. I mean, if our opponent keeps drawing things that tempt them to add to the board rather than killing us, that's actually huge. Wow. Okay, we actually have a shot here somehow. Untap. We draw Invasion of Alara. Yeah, play Invasion of Alara. Get a couple cards. Ossification is the one we'll play for free. Ossification. Hit a Reflections of Kiki Jiki, our opponent. And then Invasion of Tarkir. Hit the reflections of Kiki-Jiki. Let's see if our opponent figured it out yet. All right, copies it. Flip an Invasion of Ixalan. Oh boy, we're fighting and clawing. Get the belligerent Regisaur. Let's see if our opponent has figured it out yet. Okay, they figured it out, which does mean we die. All right, so opponent, it took them an extra turn, but they found the line because they have this creature land. Well, because our opponent missed that last thing, we will wait it out one more turn and make sure they actually know how to fire up a creature land. Oh, we almost stabilized too. That was so close. That was so close. Opponent going to cast a Thoughtseize and see our hand. Wow, they still don't see it. Oh, they're gonna copy. Okay, this line also. Okay, this line. Yes, opponent. They did it in a very strange way, but they did get there in the end. Do we want to change anything against this deck? Probably not really. I think we just run it back. Like that was, we almost stabilized. We were super, super close to stabilizing there. And our opponent drew what, 3 reflections or something absurd? Like that card. I will say I'm kind of tired of losing to reflections of Kiki-Jiki. Well, we get to be on the play for game number 2. I actually think, I mean, this is just mostly a matter of stabilizing. Really, what went wrong was that turn where our opponent double Croxed. Like that was the turn that let them steal the game. That double Croxed turn. Well, this hand we need to draw a green source. I mean, I guess we need to draw land period to get to the Fable, but a green source would be the best. Opponent gonna start with a Thoughtseize, I assume. Ah, Duress. Okay, opponent. Yeah. Huh. Who would have thought? Fable of the Mirror Breaker, that's the card you're gonna take? That is a bit of a problem because it does mean we need to draw green mana in specific now. Fable was our way to be okay without drawing green mana. Now we need to draw specifically a green source. Okay, that's specifically a green source. Well, Invasion of Tarkir. Kill a Blood Tithe Harvester. Play a Triumph past the turn. Do we have a Fable of the Mirror Breaker? Of course. All right, so we'll play a land. We'll run out the Invasion of Zendikar. Grab a couple more lands. Pass the turn, but our opponent gets to start doing Fable the Mirror Breaker things, unfortunately. Opponent discards a Razorlash Transmogrant. Even more Duresses. Oh god, and a go blank. All right. Well, that is the power of Fable the Mirror Breaker. You always hit what you need. Opponent gets and hits us. We draw an Ossification. Well, we will ossify the token. The real question is going to be, does our opponent have discard spell number 3 after all this? If they have another discard spell to take our Yorion and they're like holding a Thoughtseize, we're in trouble. If they don't, then this Yorion's going to do some serious work. Opponent land. Fable the Mirror Breaker Part 40 makes a Goblin and a Bankbuster. Well, I mean, we get to Yorion, play the Yorion. We will blink many things. Ossification, Invasion of Tarkir, Invasion of Zendikar, blink them all. Go to the end of our turn, get them back, Ossification. So we get to get rid of the reflections of Kiki-Jiki. Tutor up 2 more lands. Okay, things are shaping up. Things are shaping up. Does it matter what we take? Let's go red-green. I don't think it really matters at this point. We drew so many Triumphs. And then Invasion of Tarkir snipes the Goblin. And now the pressure is back on our opponent to draw something. This Yorion can start flipping battles, which would be very good for us. Can you kill the Yorion? Now they get to loot with Fable. They discard both. Did they hit removal? It's a Mutavault, and what's that last card? Wow, Desperation Blooding. Oh, opponent's desperate. Opponent's desperate. Discards a land. Come on, not a Liliana, not a removal spell. No, 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 no. Opponent. Okay, it's a Thoughtseize. Well, that's better than a removal spell. Invasion of Zendikar. Flip it, make a 4/4. And I think we wait. I think we hold on to the Urgamon so we can loot with it next turn. Opponent gets back Transmogrant. Sure. Untaps. Flips the Saga. And Bankbuster draws. Hits us down to 14. Bone Crush a Giant. Playing Elesh Norn. Go to combat, send both at the invasion of Tarkir. If our opponent wants to trade their Bone Crusher, we will accept that. Opponent is going to trade the Bone Crusher. All right, Tarkir down to 1. We will pass the turn. Opponent down to 1 counter on the Bank Buster. Opponent needs some removal. Wow, what a draw! What a draw for our opponent. Peels what they were hoping for, which is Invoke Despair off the top. That is unfortunate. Our opponent plays a land. Draws with the Bank Buster. Oh, yeah. That top deck, I think, might let our opponent steal this one. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we can Invasion of Ikoria for something. The question is, what is the something? Omnath? We don't have a land, though. Invasion of Ikoria, X4. Get an Omnath. Yeah, get the Omnath. Draw a card. Okay, there's the land. Flip the Tarkir. Get a dragon. Play a land. Go back up to 10. Oh, opponent. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Discards 2 Thought Seizes. Oh, Fable is such a busted card. Opponent. Gonna crew the Bank Buster. Let's see if our opponent knows they can't Reflections it. Graveyard Trespasser. Eats the Elesh Norn. Opponent. Copies the Graveyard Trespasser. Eats a Bone Crusher. Attacks. Means we have to block here, block here. So we block and block, we drop to 1. Can we keep the Thundermaw? Do we need to keep Omnath? Probably. Okay, block here, block here. And it's a Shieldred. Well, our man is good. We got battles. We can find a Yorion. We'll see how fast our opponent's hand is. Hopefully it's not too fast, but if we get if we get time to get to the invasion of Zendikar and maybe stick another battle in between, this hand is kind of what we're looking for. So turn 1 Triome, turn 2 Omen, get to the Zendikar. This deck is so cool when it goes off. It's I don't know if it's good overall. It's probably too inconsistent or slow or whatever, but good Lord. When we can do the like Elesh Norn, Yorion, all the battles, it is one of the most spectacular things I think you can do in this format. It is, fun-wise, it is living up to the hype. This is one of the things I was super interested in. Remember during spoiler season, we were talking about battles. Like, we were like, well, the floor is, you don't even try to flip them. You just play them and Elesh Norn them and blink them with Yorion. And that is proving to be just as fun as we hoped. And good sometimes. Like, when we actually get enough time to get things set up, it actually is powerful. I guess we go. Yeah, let's go Zaggoth. Green mana is more important at this point, I think, than Jeskai mana, especially since we're gonna have all the land types. Opponent, what are you up to? Schwamp. Well, Sacred Foundry. And yeah, we'll just pass. I guess we kind of want it basic now for ossification. Castle Lockwane. Oh god. Waste not. Well, that is frightening. Elesh Norn bottom. I guess the land's gotta go top. Ooh, we'll see if this is fast enough. Alright, Triumph, go. Yeah, this could go poorly. Our opponent could draw many Magic the Gathering cards. We're really counting on this Invasion of Ravnica. Oh god, double cheese. Oh, we've played this deck. We know how this goes. Double Waste Not is the best. Well, okay. We definitely want the Leyline Binding. I mean, I guess maybe we keep the Fable too? Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep them both. So we draw the Binding now. We play the Sun Petal Grove. We play the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. If our opponent goes to make us discard, we can at least get rid of one of the Waste Nots to minimize the damage. And then if we draw a land, we can Invasion of Ravnica the second one. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Leyline Binding. Get rid of a Waste Knot. Opponent gets a Shieldred. We draw, we get drained. Oh, this feels bad, but I think we have to We have to discard the Ikoria. Oh, so opponent gets double triggers. We might be in trouble. We might be in trouble. So opponent gets to draw a card. We get drained by Shieldred. We get to Invasion of Zendikar to maybe have a good turn next turn, but it might just be too slow at this point. So we'll take a swamp and we'll take a mountain. All right. Well, let's see how bad it is. This is where discard really hurts. Oh my god, triple Waste Knot. Opponent gets in with Shieldred. That is all the Waste Knots in the top 12. 3 of the 4 Waste Knots in the top 4 cards, which is whew. So we draw an Omen of the Sea, we get drained. We flip our Saga. Well, we'll see. So we can ossify the Shieldred. Our opponent probably Gaia reaches in response, and maybe we just hit a land. So we will Ossification, get rid of the Shieldred. Opponent's gonna Gaia reach. Or not. All right, here's the Gaia reach. We do draw a land, so we're gonna discard Invasion of Alara. Unfortunately, this means our opponent draws 2 cards, which is not good. So there's all the triggers. Opponent gets to draw 2, unfortunately. Gain a bunch of life. Boy, I think we could have beat 2 Waste Knots. 3 is just so many. Land, Invasion of Ravnica to kill a Waste Knot. I mean, I guess if we draw 1 more land, we can get down Yorion. You can't Field of Ruin a basic mountain. That is not a legal target, thankfully. Opponent wants their Shieldred back. I guess we've got a little lucky. Our opponent's drawn all the Waste Knots, but they haven't really done a good job of drawing discard. Keeps looking at the field. I mean, we don't care. If they want to blow up a non-basic, we're fine with that. We have plenty of basics in this deck. The worst is probably just like a Go Blank or something. Okay, so there's the worst, a Go Blank or something. 2 more Waste Knot triggers. I mean, I guess the question is, do we draw a land? If we draw a land to get to Yorion here, I think we, even after all this, we probably can still win. Like, we blow up the Waste Knot, we draw with the Omens, we finish ramping. We need to untap land this turn. That is the draw. But they're really tanky. They're gonna run out of time here. Okay, opponent uses all the time in the world. All right, let's draw that land. It's a tapped one. Well, okay, try them. Go. So in theory, we get to do it next turn. We'll see if we're alive next turn. If they draw another Shieldred, we are in really sad shape, and they just drew a ton of cards. If they just think forever and play Shieldred, I'm gonna be very sad. So they can trigger their Waste Knot with the Gaia Reach. We can't do anything about it. Opponent's gonna go that route. We draw and discard a land, so opponent gets back 2 of their 3 mana. They discard a Fatal Push, they make the mana. And Davriel, so that hits us for 2 damage. Passes. We take 2. Well, all right, so we Yorion. We play Yorion. We do a bit of blinking. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, opponent lets it go. We get a bunch of triggers. The question is, what do we kill? That's the real question. I mean, I guess we gotta let the Waste Knot live and get rid of the Davriel. Doesn't feel great, but all right, land and land. Get rid of the Davriel. Well, okay, draw a land. Yeah, bottom. Draw a land. All right, well, nothing but lands to discard, so we're not gonna get got by Thoughtseize. Opponent, power word kill. Untaps. Oh, draws another Shieldred. Okay. Yep. That is actually just game. Opponent drew every Waste Knot. We've played the Waste Knot deck, and the Waste Knot deck's actually pretty good. Although, you only get 1 Waste Knot, and our opponent's ability to have 3 of them in their opening hand is unfortunate. We had answers for 1 or 2, but number 3, that one was the one that got us. We get to play first. All right, I guess we'll keep it. Against a discard deck, this hand doesn't really excite me. No card advantage. The Ikoria is nice. Unclear whether we can actually get to it. Triumph goes. Opponent, mulliganing to try to find the Waste Knot. Thoughtseize. Forest. Leyline Binding is good. That is an answer to our opponent sticking a Waste Knot here. And passes. Well, let's Glacial Fortress and take a Yorion. All right, opponent gonna cling to dust to draw a card, sure. And a swamp, and a Liliana. Opponent takes up Liliana. Opponent also has to discard, remember. We'll pitch an Invasion of Tarkir. Opponent pitches a cut down. Well, all right. Invasion of Ixalan. Actually, do we Invasion of Ixalan? Do we have to hit the Liliana? Maybe we have to hit the Liliana. Red-green, because we already have all of our land types. Yeah, let's Steam Vents tapped. And Leyline Binding, get rid of the Liliana. Pass the turn. Takes the Yorion. Seems like they're thinking about Feed the Swarming. A lot's gonna come down to what we hit off this Invasion of Ixalan. Opponent tanks forever, passes. Invasion of Ravnica. Well, we will Invasion of Ixalan. Go digging. Omen of the Sea. Play an island. Are we going to Gaia Reach? Looks like yes. Sure. We will discard a Invasion of Urgamon for now. Shieldred's Edict. Another Thoughtseize would be annoying. We really want a Yorion. 2 cards in hand. What might they be? What might they be? We can play around to go blank. Yeah, opponent's deck a little less scary without drawing all the waste knots. We kind of talked about that between games. When you don't draw the waste knots, all of your discard gets a little bit more depressing. Maybe our opponent's playing on mobile. Okay, Turgrid. Well, we will Omen of the Sea. I mean, Mom is great, but I feel like it's just going to die. The land's only... Let's go bottom. I think we go bottom here. Bottom, draw a card. All right, well, we get a Mom either way. Well, we will Invasion of Ravnica to get rid of the Turgrid. Pass the turn, hold on to everything, because I'm still worried about a go blank. We really need to get this Yorion down, but we gotta wait till, first we gotta get rid of Turgrid or things can go very bad. Looking at our enchantments. Shieldred, sure. As long as it's not a Thoughtseize. It is a Thoughtseize. All right, that's unfortunate. There goes our Yorion. All right, well, not great. We draw a Triome, we get drained. Well, we'll play a Mom, play a Sun Petal Grove, pass the turn. Opponent, Shieldred, drains. I mean, Gaia Reaching's kind of okay. We don't mind getting to dig through our deck. Oh, we're missing black mana. That's a bummer. So we can't Invasion of Alara yet. Opponent's trying to figure out what to discard. We'll discard a Triome. Opponent discards a Swamp. Gets some triggers. Passes. 1, 2, 3. Sack the Omen of the Sea. To scry. Okay, those are 2 good cards. How many land types do we have? There's no black. So I think we take Invasion of Ixalan first. Take Invasion of Ixalan, get drained. But we get to 1, 2. Invasion of go to our main phase. 1, 2. Invasion of Ixalan. Doubles up. Leyline Binding, Omnath. No attacks past the turn. Opponent drains us. Was hoping we hit a black source going 10 cards deep. Leyline Binding black source is what we really wanted. Opponent goes blank. Well, discard and discard. What's that last card? Just a Swamp. Okay, we're good. We're good. So we get drained. I guess we could have done that earlier. Leyline Binding. Double triggers. Gets rid of Shieldred. Start flipping battles. Invasion of Ravnica. Pass the turn. Castle Lockwain. Castle Lockwain's good for our opponent. If they're going to draw land, that's the land they want to draw. Opponent. Castle Lockwain draws a card. And Duress to see a Sacred Foundry. We draw a Fabled Passage. Well, hit our opponent. Flip a battle. Play the battle. Fabled Passage, go. I mean, I think we're in good shape now, right? Opponent scoops it up. Oh, that was scary, but we survived. Well, running back. We got to flip some battles, and Mom actually stuck, which was sweet. Mom's like a little sketchy in the matchup just because our opponent has so much removal, but it came down late enough that our opponent had already used their removal, and we didn't even get a ton of value out of it, but it was enough. Opponent's on the play. Let's see what this hand looks like. I don't know if it's good or bad that we draw so many cards in this deck, in this matchup. Like, it's good overall, but I don't know if it's actually a positive, because it keeps adding cards to our hand for our opponent to make us discard. One awkward part of this deck is Invasion of Ikoria doesn't really do anything till pretty late in the game. Oh boy, okay. Well, 2 invasions of Ikoria now. Passes. Well, we will play a forest. Invasion of Urgamon. I think we just discard a Tarkir. The treasure does help us get towards this Ikoria. Opponent, Swamp, and Liliana. All right, we'll discard a Fabled Passage for now. We draw Plains. Well, play the Plains. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Pass the turn. I mean, I guess if we have to, we can Ikoria for a Skyclave to get rid of the Lily. The opponent has a Rankle. Gets in with the Rankle. Hits us. I mean, opponent's also about to be empty-handed, though. We will discard a Ikoria. Opponent pitches Mutavault. You're ticking down, right? You gotta tick down. White, green, blue, red, black. So we're gonna have all of our land types. Boy, opponent's really trying to figure out what to do. All right, opponent eventually does decide to tick down the Liliana. Well, we'll discard a land and a land. Draw a land and a land. Well, Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Grab a Swamp. Invasion of Ikoria X3. It is kind of a bummer to have to use the treasure. Grab the Skyclave. Rankle. Pass the turn. We discard the mountain. Opponent discards Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Passes. Well, flip the Saga. Well, okay. We will sacrifice Reflection. Hit Lily to 1. I mean, I guess we gotta do it. Take our Yorion. Play the tap land. Come on, no discard. No discard. It's not even a great Yorion here. It's a fine Yorion. All right, Duress. That's a whiff. Oh, taking... Okay, this is good. We discard the island. Opponent discards Extinction Event. I mean, this is fine. We get to go to combat. Play Yorion. Blink Urgamon. End of turn. Get back Urgamon. Discard the land. Ooh, Ixalan's actually pretty good. All right, opponent. Wow, why are they looting? That's a weird choice. All right, opponent just fill in the graveyard. And scoops it up. Well, we got to see our opponent go off in game number 1 with the triple Waste Not draw. But games 2 and games 3, we saw exactly what we were talking about with the Waste Not deck, where if you don't draw the Waste Not, it gets a little sad. Well, sweet, ground them out, sweet. So what did we learn this week about Yorion battles in Explorer? And wow, the deck is spectacular. So record-wise, we were right around 50% win rate with the deck, which, yeah, that's reasonable, I guess. I don't think the deck is like super ultra competitive. It can be a little bit slow. Like, that's the biggest drawback, is we do sometimes just get clunky, expensive draws, get run over by aggro. We're an 80 card deck, so we don't always hit our ramp or whatever. So that is a concern. We're not going to be mono red aggro style decks very often. On the other hand, we got to see this deck do some of the biggest, most explosive, sweetest things imaginable once we get things set up. Like, the plan really does work. The plan of just playing as many battles as possible and then Yorioning them and then getting an Elesh Norn to double them up. We had some ridiculous games where we were like drawing through our entire 80 card deck and just absolutely going off, casting spells for free with Invasion of Alara. And then we do occasionally flip the battles as well. Like, even though our plan isn't to flip the battles, Yorion's a pretty good battle flipper. So once we actually get to the point where we're Yorioning, it's actually not that hard to end up flipping a battle here and there. Some of the most important ones, specific ones that can like tutor up more battles or whatever. So I gotta say, I think the deck is probably middle as far as just how competitive it is. Like, could you use this to rank up to Mythic? I don't know. I don't know if it's actually that competitive, but I will say this is one of the most fun decks that I have played in a long time. It is just really embracing this new card type, and it does really spectacular things. So if you want to just have a ton of fun in Explorer and have some chance of winning, it's not like the deck's bad. It was able to keep up with a non-aggro best decks in the format. Like, we can grind with the best decks in the format as long as we're just not getting aggroed out. I would definitely recommend the deck because it is just so so much fun. So that is Yorion Battles for Explorer. That's been our video for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.